Saturday, we have UFC 291. My official predictions: the BMF belt is coming back with the main event being a 5-rounder with Dustin Porier and Justin Gaethje. So let's start the main card from bottom to the top. And one, we have the return of Kevin Holland against Micheal Chiesa. I believe Micheal Chiesa is a pretty good wrestler, maybe a good grappler. I ultimately think Kevin Holland is going to just win this fight just because of him being young, being more fresh, and being that much better of a striker, him just being so active. I just love Kevin Holland as a fighter, and he's pretty funny outside of the cage as well. So I definitely think he has that fight on lock, either by knockout or decision, but I feel like he's going to knock him out for some odd reason. Number 2, we have Bobby Green against Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson, I'm sorry to tell this, like, he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. I love his weirdness, love his awkwardness, his personality, etc. But this fight will make him retire, because I feel like Bobby Green is a fighter who's very good at boxing, very good at taunting, and Tony Ferguson has been a lot slower. He has been changing his style a lot recently. He's another fighter, I feel like, who just doesn't use his wrestling, as well as Justin Gaethje, but he just doesn't use his wrestling at all. I feel like if he actually used it, and plus the jiu-jitsu he has on top of that, it'll be pretty fun. But he also likes to fight off his back, so it's kind of like a little confusing to me. But to each his own. So I feel like Bobby Green will ultimately win by unanimous decision. If not, it's just going to be, I don't really see him finishing Tony, but I definitely think he's going to just batter him the whole time. Secondly, or thirdly, we have Stephen Thompson against Micheal Pereira. I don't like Micheal Pereira just because he tried to couch chase Jorge Masvidal, and he's not really that big of a fighter. He's pretty good, but he's just somebody who's just now cracking into the top 15 on that level. Stephen Thompson, he can easily be a champion if he has a little bit better wrestling. His striking is so crazy. It's so good. I feel like he's going to ultimately win that fight by a knockout. I have some odd feeling. I think he's going to clip him with one of those spinning back kicks or side kicks. He just has that awkward karate style of fight, and I think it's going to favor him heavily in this fight. And I feel like he's going to win this fight by knockout. Now, to the co-main event, we have Alex Pereira against Jan Blachowicz. For Alex Pereira, I feel like this is too quick for him to come back. He just got knocked out against Izzy, got hammer-fisted. He has brain just splattered, how they say. And I feel like ultimately his only goal to win will be to knock him out. And if Jan Blachowicz is really serious about him wanting to test his striking ability against if Jan Blachowicz is serious about him testing striking ability against Alex Pereira, I feel like it's going to be a very dumb decision. Just because it's like, why would you want to do that if you didn't want to strike with Izzy and Pereira beat this guy 3 times and you ultimately out-grappled Izzy, who's a way better grappler than Pereira? Then why wouldn't you just want to grapple Pereira? And he has less cardio in the grappling department. But that's just me. I feel like Jan Blachowicz will ultimately win that by either ground and pound, a submission, or just unanimous decision unless Alex Pereira knocks him out. Now for the main event, we got the BMF belt coming back. Dustin the Diamond Porier versus Justin the Highlight Reel Gaethje. For this fight, I don't really feel that Dustin Porier is a real BMF. He's kind of like a great fighter, but he's a great person outside the octagon. A BMF to me is somebody who's just tough and gritty and grimy, all that type of stuff. I think he is, but he doesn't really give me the same kind of vibe as a Justin Gaethje. I feel like Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal was a great BMF belt. Tony Ferguson could be a BMF contender. Hamzat, maybe Conor McGregor, all those type of guys. But Dustin Poirier is kind of like, I don't really know. But ultimately, I feel like he's going to win this fight by unanimous decision. Same way he did last time. Justin Gaethje is another example of somebody I feel like who just does not use his wrestling. He comes from a Division I wrestling background. He used it as amateur and his early pro years, but when he went to PFL and all that type of stuff. Other than that, his striking is pretty good. Obviously, his grappling ability kind of sucks, but even in the striking department, he's very good at leg kicks and just power, and just when he hits you. But for Justin Gaethje, I feel like the way he needs to win this fight is really just to do the same thing he did in the first fight, and just with minor tweaks. So I would say leg kicks as usual, Chiesa uses great timing and really just use more of his wrestling. I feel like if he uses that more, it'll be a lot easier for him. He took down Rafael Vazquez last fight, who had some of the best takedown defense in the whole division. Then we have Dustin Porier, who I feel like he's a way better striker, especially a boxer. Pretty good overall. I feel like if he fights Justin Gaethje, his keys to win would be just to just outbox him and just batter him on the feet, and just do the same thing he did last time. Just use his striking and just different levels of attacks, that type of thing. And I feel like that's ultimately how this fight is going to go. BMF belt goes back to ATT in South Florida to Dustin Poirier, and I feel like the winner of this fight will ultimately probably fight Islam Makhachev after he's done fighting Oliveira, unless they go to a trilogy bout, because somehow if he may get knocked out. But this is my thoughts about the UFC fighting coming up. What y'all think? Like, comment for more. Peace. I'm out.